great about. The one I guess I gave was running back is their strength. You have Josh Jacobs, who out of Alabama, he's had 2,000-yard rushing seasons in his first two, and Kenyon Drake has had some solid years for Miami, and last year he played well, not great, but he played well for Arizona as a starter, so he's going to be a change of pace for them. And they have Theo Riddick, who I don't know what he is at this point. I mean, he played well for Detroit, but that was like 3 years ago. And Jalen Richard has had moments too. Probably, honestly, I didn't want to give it to all these quarterbacks because I like a lot of the quarterbacks except for Denver's situation. David Carr probably is their strength, and then you have Mariota as a backup. But I just felt running back just to make it different. Their weakness, though, like I said, weakness outside of running back and quarterback, I think you go a lot of places except pass rush. They had 21 sacks last year. 21. Max Crosby has been solid for them. They signed Yannick Ngakoue, who was a longtime Raven. But, I mean, after that, it's just a train wreck. It's an absolute train wreck. And they go 7-10.
Now, you see,
Well,
I have them 9-8. I think they will get above 500. I do. I think they have just enough offense to be able to win some games that, again, they probably shouldn't have. But, yeah, it's another one of those. It's kind of like the East, the AFC East. You have the class of the class, and then it flattens out.
So T-Dog, a question about when Ryan Pace made the deal to get Khalil Mack to the Bears. What happened to those draft picks? Did they ever materialize into anybody for the Raiders?
Yes. Joshua Jacobs, who's been good for them, but his 2 seasons, even though he's played well for them, he always seems to get nicked up in the back half of the season. And if you look at last year, I think if he would have stayed healthy, they would have won those 2 games at the end that really cost them the playoffs last year, where I think back-to-back weeks they lost on Thursday night to the Chargers, and then they lost Saturday to the Miami Dolphins. If he was healthy, I think they win. So that has turned out. I believe the other one was a cornerback, if I'm remembering correctly, who has, I think it was the one from Ohio State. He has been fairly mediocre, so I don't think that really helped him. It really is one of those situations where Bears had one good season, so I guess if you're going to talk about who won the trade, I guess the Bears did, but it's not overwhelming. It's
kind of a
they've
wash.
been kind of mediocre for the most part, except for 2018.
Okay, so a question for you both: Is Chucky on the line at the Raiders? Is this Chucky's curtain call, or is Chucky there forever?
Well, he's got a no-cut contract, and he still has, 7 years on it? I mean,
if it's not 7, it's 6. Yes, it's $100 million, $10 million a year contract. So the answer to your question is easy. No, he's okay.
They're gonna
Mike Mayock, on the other hand, their GM, he might be going back to the NFL Network very soon.
So they're gonna ride that Chucky pony all the way to the end, huh?
I mean, they have to.
Wow.
I mean, they made this. They've signed this ridiculous.
Who
contract.
signs these deals? Who signs these deals?
Look, you can't. You know what? You can't hate Gruden for this. If someone offers you $100 million guaranteed for 10 years, 10 years of job security at $10 million a year. I mean, you take it. I'm not going to kill him, man.
I'm taking it. Go ahead. Next.
Someone I'm not going to kill. The Chargers, who were, I believe they were 7-9 last year. And if you look at how well Herbert played last year, well, with some of the questionable calls by Anthony Lynn as a head coach, where someone at work pointed out, usually sometimes you get a feel for how a team is by the head coach. You're like, oh, this coach is a defensive coach or an offensive coach. The crazy thing about Anthony Lynn that they pointed out, he coaches like he's like on the defensive side, but he was like a quarterback's coach. And like when you watch him offensively, he seems to be super conservative. It's very bizarre. But anyway, they don't have to worry about him anymore. The strength is on offense. I'm going to say it's the receivers. Keenan Allen is one of the best route runners in the game. Mike Williams gives you your jump ball monster that hasn't been fed enough. I think he's only had 90 targets 2 years ago and 85 targets last year. Jalen Guyton gives you the burner. And Jarrett Cook, who comes over from the Saints, gives you your mismatch at tight end. I mean, he's up and down, but still he's a mismatch. It's kind of a theme to this division. Their weakness is a pass rush. They just had 27 sacks last year. And besides Joey Bosa, who missed some games last year, when you look at their defensive line and their outside linebackers, there's really no one who scares you. So I have them. But that being said, with Brandon Staley, their new coach, who was an excellent first-year defensive coordinator for the Rams, I feel it's going to be one of those years where new coach who I think understands the situation and they have a great roster. And I think Herbert's only going to be better in the second year. So I have them going 12-5.
I'm going to go a little opposite. I'm not that pro on that. I think Herbert is good. I think their defense is the problem. And that's big time. But I do think that probably 11 wins. I would expect them to get 11 wins.
Yeah.
But they could surprise you. It just depends. If he can get some decent yardage out of a running back and Hunter Henry, the tight end, has a good year.
He's not there anymore. He's with the Patriots.
Oh, he's already been okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then, that's a big loss for Herbert as well. So.
Yeah, that's so 12-5. All right.
Yeah. But I obviously have them making the playoffs. They're a playoff team. So, but a team that has made the playoffs more than a few years in a row.
Yeah.
Kansas City Chiefs.
That'd be 6, I think. 6 division championships, I think.
Yeah, I believe. I'll let you guess what the strength of the Chiefs are.
Yeah. I think we got those. A few of those, don't we?
Yeah. The main one, though, even though you can go Tyreek, you go Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, been a starter in the league 3 years. First year, threw 50 touchdowns. Second year, as a starter, won the Super Bowl. Third year, got to the Super Bowl, had no offensive line. And I know the score indicated it was a beating, and it was a beating. But if you go back and watch their plays, he damn near made that game competitive with a bad leg and a bad offensive line, and he almost made it a game by himself. So definitely the strength. Again, like I said with the conference, they only had 32 sacks. Pass rush is their weakness. Chris Jones had a bad year, and Frank Clark has been good at points, but like outside of those guys, they don't have a lot of juice. So but that being said, I think they're so talented, and in their schedule, if you look at their schedule, it looks really kind of dream street for someone as talented as them. They're going 15-2.
Woo!
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't be quiet. I'm thinking they're only going to get 13 wins this time around. I don't think Mahomes is back to 100%. I just don't. But they could easily prove me wrong. I think what are they, 60-20 in the past since Mahomes has started. So they're a juggernaut offensively. Defensively, again, I have to say they're hurting. But in the offseason, they did sign Tooney, whatever his name is, 5-year deal.
Oh, what's his name? Yeah.
Kyle Long's coming out of retirement with a 1-year deal, and they signed a Rams center, Austin Blythe.
And they got Orlando Brown from the Ravens.
So So they've shored up that offensive line for sure. Now they should score. I would expect them to average 35 points or better for every game. So they may indeed go 15-2. I think it's going to be questionable. I'll wait to see the first game and see how Mahomes, what level he is at.
And speaking of one leg, how about Kyle Long? That's like a one-legged guy right there. Wow.
Could be wrong. I think he's already injured again.
I bet. He had a rough time all the way.
Yeah. I hope the best for him, but it was one of those signings. Hopefully they just had him for depth or just as a kind of a coaching consultant.
He's had a snake bit career for sure.
Yeah. But I will agree with Lugs on this. I do look at their defense, and I'm not going to say that I'm not slighting anyone, but when you look at their starting 11, there's 4 guys of high quality. It's Clark, Jones, Tyrann Mathieu, and the one corner young corner Snead really came on and looked good. I'm not saying there's anyone else who isn't solid, but like there's no one who pops off like those 4. So that's only 4 out of 11. So I get where Lugs is hesitant to say they're going 15-2. So I understand.
So Super Bowl bound?
I think so. I think they haven't gone anywhere.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. They have enough offensive juice to just do some serious damage if they're on and catch, people just on their heels. They really do. I mean, I don't know of any team offensively that I've ever seen that has more firepower at all the positions. I mean, all of them. And
you just hope the 17-game season doesn't wear some teams down. That's a lot. A lot of extra, a lot of stuff.
It is. You talk about injuries. Yeah. I think by the time you get to the 13th and 14th games, you're just beat up. I don't care who you are. I mean, this is men out there beating the hell out of each other.
I will say the one thing that does make it intriguing is if Herbert does really step up in year 2, this division, I mean, it probably still isn't, but there's a chance this division actually is a race where it hasn't been for multiple years now.
True. So you're saying Chiefs to the Super Bowl and Chargers in the playoffs, that's your AFC West.
That's right. And I think the Chargers are good enough that they'll get out of the wild card. They could maybe sneak into even the championship game. I don't think they get to the Super Bowl, but I think they're good enough to even get into the AFC Championship game.
And, man, they've got those snazzy lightning bolt uniforms everybody's in love with. All right, fellas, let's talk quickly about the NBA Finals. It starts Tuesday in Phoenix at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. A couple of local guys in the game. Devin Booker, now a 5th-year pro. Can you believe that? Previously out of Kentucky. And Jordan Nwora, a rookie from U of L, Louisville. So what do you make of the NBA Finals? Dead air.
Oh man, Lugs is such a not a fan of the NBA.
Sorry. I took a little nap. As soon as you said the NBA.
He passed out. The Suns are the favorites, by the way, on the opening line.
Oh, okay. I have no interest. I have to be honest.
This is a sports show, man. I'm throwing this crap away. You got to get excited about this. It's the finals. Come on.
Well, I could be excited, except it's on obscure networks.
Not anymore. It's on the real one for the finals.
Okay. And they've been playing this game for 2 years, right? I mean, these playoffs have been going and going. It's like, seriously.
Oh, my word. Yes, they went from the bubble to trouble, I guess. I don't know.
I think my favorite thing about this is this finals, what it could be, is how and look, we're victims of this too. We construct narratives until they get blown away by reality. Early in Devin Booker's career, like obviously he was a phenomenal player for the Suns, but those rosters for the most part overall were just such trash that people are like, Well, it doesn't mean anything. Well, he's not that good. They've only won like 15 games, or they only won 22 games this season. He's not that good.